Howdy folks, Matt here with Gulf Coast Fit. I would like to share with you today a shoulder and bicep workout. Very simple, 3 exercises: barbell curls, barbell upright rows, and barbell overhead presses. I'm going to be doing behind the neck presses. So I'm using an easy bar, if you can see right here. For this workout, you don't need a massive amount of weight. We're doing cluster sets, or micro sets, you could say, of each of these 3 exercises. And this is what I like to call a transition tri-set. We start isolating the biceps, and then we go into an upright row where we're hitting biceps and shoulders. And then we go into an overhead press, or behind the neck press in this case, which helps to target the shoulders even more than a normal overhead press in front, which is more, that's our third exercise, is more deltoid shoulder dominant. So we go biceps with the bicep curls, shoulders and biceps with the upright rows, and then we go to our behind the neck press, which targets more of the shoulders. Then we go back and we reverse that. We hit the, after the overhead press, we hit the upright rows again, targeting both of our target muscle groups, and then the biceps. I'm only going to be doing 5 repetitions of each, and that's very important, and it can be somewhat challenging to gauge how heavy you should go when you're only doing 5 reps at a time. But here's the way I gauge it. With this weight that I've got here, you see I'm using an easy curl bar. It's got the curve to it, a little more joint friendly, especially if you're old and banged up like me. But if you're young and sprightly, a straight bar will do just fine. Anyway, the way I gauge this is on any of those exercises, 20 to 25 reps would be pretty challenging for me. If I was just doing one single set, 20 to 25 reps, I'd be nearing my max effort there. And so you would think only 5 reps at a time would be pretty easy, and it feels that way just at first. But when you're doing this type of transition sets where you're hitting muscle group A, then muscle group A and B, and then muscle group B, back to muscle group A and B, and then muscle group A, you'll see I've got biceps, deltoids, and then biceps and deltoids in the middle. So you really, the time under tension is really quite dense and quite high. So between each set of 5, I'm really just going to put the bar down, take a breath or two, pick it back up, and switch exercises. Now, this is using this type of a program. You might start with as little as, say, 3 rounds up and down that pyramid. I'm going to keep going until, sets of 5, until I can't go anymore and I need more than, several breaths or 15 to 20 seconds of rest. You really, time under tension and density is the name of the game here, because the weight is not that heavy. I'm working with 55 pounds, which wouldn't be that much for me to curl or overhead press, but it will be substantial in this case. You might start with 15, 20 pounds. That'll still be challenging no matter who you are if you've never done something like this. So I'll give you a few rounds of this, maybe longer if I don't feel like pushing the stop button, but you'll see the gist of it. Little pauses between each set, only 5 micro set or 5 cluster reps at a time, and try to stay strict with it. And it takes a lot of mental tenacity and grit, especially after several rounds. Give it a go. I'm going to try to get, let's see here. And keep in mind that exercise number 2, you're going to be doing more sets of that than the other 2 exercises, because you hit that in the middle of each set. And that's a good thing, because exercise 2 or exercise B is hitting both target muscle groups. And so that's our big bang for our buck exercise, if you will. All right, let's just give it a go. I'm stalling a little bit because I know I'm about to bring the pain. First video here in my mom's backyard without Guster, by the way. So we love you, Gus. You'll always be with us. And make sure to check out my other videos. Many of them have Guster keeping us company. First bicep curls. One big breath. Upright rows. Like that recovery breath, 1 or 2 breaths. Last as long as possible. Behind the neck presses. Back to upright rows. Our bicep curls. Keep them strict. Back to upright rows. Behind the neck presses. Now you can do this entire thing for duration or for X number of reps. You can keep track of your rounds or keep track of how long you do this. It's really highly variable from person to person. Back to upright rows. Keeping things strict is very important to get the most out of these 5 reps. Starting to get somewhere. Keep it timely. 1 to 2 breaths. 5 to 10 seconds max. you start to have to cheat a little bit, use a little momentum, you know that you're starting to get to the point where you're reaching your peak. Five to 10 minutes is all you need. I wouldn't go more than 10 minutes. I wouldn't go more than about 10 rounds through everything. Try not to make it last longer than that. If you do, you're either going too light or resting too long like I am now. Right back in, one breath. The curls are starting to wear out first. That's to be expected. When you hit a wall, you're gonna hit a wall fast. I might have just 1 or 2 more rounds left. The strongest exercise, the overhead press, fades the least, suffers the least, at least for me. Pretty typical. Now fading, hit the wall. Whoa. Keep in mind you've done a lot more upright rows than anything else. Go one more time through upright rows and overhead press. I'm going to finish with the strong lift. That's overhead press. So when you can't keep the rest breaks short, or you can't hit all your reps consecutively anymore, it's time to stop. Or if you start cheating too much, here's my last set, I'm done so. Last rep. Alright, that was a good time for you to fall over on me. So I don't know how many rounds I made it through there, but it took me right at about 10 minutes. And that's 5 to 10 minutes is all you need. 5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 10 rounds through. Keep the rest breaks to a minimum. 1 to 2 recovery breaths. Keep the weight very modest so that those 5 rep sets feel easy at first, but when you hit a wall, you hit a wall fast. So give that a go, keep it strict. You pull the plug when you're getting too sloppy, you need too much rest, like more than 10 seconds, or you can't hit your reps consecutively. You see, I started to hit 3 reps or 4 reps, stop, finish my set of 5. If you get to the point where 2 or 3 reps, you have to stop, you only got a few more sets left in you. So give it a go. It'll get your delts, your biceps, your forearms, your grippers, even your traps, but we're hitting bis and delts there as our target muscle groups. It'll do the trick. Very time effective, harder than it looks. Give it a go, have some fun with it. Thanks, Gus.